versus food. So I'm taking on another British Eating League contest here at the George Pub and Grill. So I've got Craig here, who's the CEO of the British Eating League, and he's going to explain what we're going to be eating tonight.
Yeah, so tonight you've got the UK's biggest commercially available bacon buddy. It's 2 huge stotties, 25 slices of bacon, and every eater gets a choice of either brown sauce or ketchup.
I'm just going to see how long it's going to take me to get it down. Carl Big Food, who is also doing it, so Carl thinks that maybe he can do it in about 7 minutes. I think I'm going to take longer than that because I don't even really know what a stottie is, which is really bad as a southerner. Let's just see how it goes.
First up we have Kyle Gibson, aka Kyle Big Food from Hockley Spring. And next up we have Max Stanford, all the way across London. Next up we've got our Teesside favourite, John Dawes, aka Dawsy the Beast from Milliner.
Take a look at that puppy there, mate.
Absolutely huge. It is intense. Not looking forward to it.
I'll have a food, John.
Look happier.
Yeah.
So Eat Night Live, in 3, in 2, in 1, let's eat! Let's see the different techniques we use today.
You've got Carl making a mini bun there.
Max has just gone straight in for the stotty. His first stotty, being a southerner, he didn't have a clue what a stotty was. Here he is, getting it all in.
So I thought I'd jump in here with another voiceover because people seem to like it in the last video. So as you can see here, I'm getting straight into the stotty. It was pretty easy going actually. As you can see, I managed to get it down pretty quickly, and the stumbling block was just that absolute heap of bacon that I had to go through. So yeah, I'll let you watch this out, and I'm gonna overlay the Q&A that I got as part of my 200 subscriber Oreo challenge. I had so many questions, so I didn't get through them all in the last video, so I thought I'd put them in here as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoy.
Steph Kitty Cat Sheldrake asks, how long have you been doing food competitions and what made you start doing them in the first place?
Hey Steph, thanks for all the questions, they're really good. So I've been doing them for about 2 years now, but I only started to kind of take it a bit more seriously in the last couple of months really, since after lockdown. I was kind of just doing it randomly, but now I'm kind of doing it for the British Eating League and things like that. What got me into it was really to see if I could kind of put on some muscle kind of in the gym really. I kind of wanted to kind of bulk up a bit, and I wanted to kind of eat more, so I thought these would be great opportunities to do kind of cheat days, and just started off by doing kind of random restaurant challenges, and it's kind of just taken from there, and I've kind of just started to do more competitions and speed eating. So yeah, it's kind of just fallen into it really.
Ricky B asks, what made you choose Max v Food?
I think we just kind of fell into it really. Obviously I'm a massive fan of Man vs Food, and I just thought that sounded kind of similar. I've thought about other names like Food, the biggest maximum food, and kind of Food versus the maximum, but they all sound really cheesy, so I just went with a plain Max versus Food. But I'm really up for another name. If Ricky or anyone else has any suggestions, I'd be really up for that. But I think Max versus Food kind of gets the point across. Yeah.
So not necessarily set in stone.
Yeah, I definitely say yeah. If people are up for a name change, I'm up for a name change. I just don't know what it could be. So yeah, so comment down below and let me know if you have any better name suggestions, and I'd be happy to change my name.
Steph Kitty Cat Sheldrake asks, before a challenge, how do you prepare mentally and physically, and how long do you fast beforehand?
So I usually fast for a whole day beforehand. So the day of the challenge really. I usually eat like a pretty big meal beforehand, the night before. So lots of like vegetables, lots of fruit, and like a really big probably like fruit smoothie to really expand out my stomach. And that'll be the night before. So that's how I kind of physically prepare. I also do a lot of cardio and quite a lot of weights beforehand. So I usually do like a cardio session really early on in the morning, and then probably a weight session before the challenge, and try and get in a lot of steps. And then mentally, I'm actually I have prepared for some of them, but quite a lot of them I kind of just wing it. I prepare a little bit in terms of like, how I'm going to tackle like this burger or things like that, but I kind of feel like just going into it, just taking it as it comes is quite a good way of doing it. You might see on some of my videos, sometimes I look a bit shocked when I start, because I think I'm like, oh my god, I haven't eaten in like 24 hours. My body's like, what are you doing? What you're eating now? So you can probably see that. But mentally I don't really prepare, but I think that's quite a good way. Otherwise you kind of psych yourself out a little bit.
Josh Crady asks, what's your favorite collab you've done, and will you do another one with him?
Hey Josh. Great question. So my favorite was probably with Josh himself. So I did a collab with Josh, with Ben, and with Julie. That was my first collab, and it was actually an international collab where we each made, I think it was like a 3 kilogram meatloaf, and then kind of recorded it all and kind of put our own videos out. And that was really fun. I really enjoyed making it and kind of eating it and just doing that kind of collab. I definitely maybe say in the future I'd do one where we could all have the same thing, so maybe fast food, so maybe 100 chicken nuggets or something from Burger King or something like that. I also really enjoyed my collab that I did with Jake. So we went to Crawley to a food, like a restaurant there, and had like a massive burger, and I managed to do the burger and the milkshake but didn't do the fries. Jake kind of failed miserably, but hopefully we've got some kind of collabs in the work to do more, because I really enjoy collabs and with other people. But yeah, Josh, definitely let's do another collab, and yeah, just with other people as well. I'm really up for that.
The Takedown Twins asked if you have a dream challenge or a challenge bucket list you'd like to do.
So I definitely have a bucket list. I write down all the challenges that I kind of want to do. There's still loads to do in England, especially ones kind of in the north of England that I haven't got to do yet, which other comparative eaters have done. And I'm putting down a bucket list for places in America, so I'd love to go to America and actually meet you guys, but also meet lots of other comparative eaters in America, and there's just hundreds of challenges to do there. In terms of like my ultimate one, I think I'd want like a breakfast one, so like a kind of American breakfast where it's like waffles, pancakes, kind of bacon, like loads of maple syrup and things like that. I think like an ultimate, even like eggs and kind of omelets, an ultimate like American style diner challenge would be amazing, like a really big one as well. I think speed eating is kind of fun, but I really like the huge challenge ones. I think that's such a difficult challenges to do, so I'd really like that as my like kind of ultimate idea.
Steph Kitty Cat Sheldrake asks, after a challenge, how uncomfortable do you feel, and how long before the discomfort subsides? How do you burn off all the calories?
So the most recent challenges I've done, I haven't really felt that much discomfort. I think that's just because my capacity is just getting pretty big. When I do get discomfort, sometimes it can be pretty much straight away if the challenge is huge, like my big breakfast challenge. I was pretty much just in a world of hate straight away. But sometimes what will happen is you'll kind of feel really full, and then it starts to not be discomfort, but just you kind of struggle, either feeling really, really tired or anything like that, kind of a couple of hours afterwards. So usually about 3 or 4 hours afterwards, sometimes you can feel a bit rubbish. But usually, sometimes I'm pretty much asleep by then, in a food coma. So usually I don't feel too bad. And then how do I burn off all the calories? I really keep active. So I do a lot of cardio and weights beforehand. And then the day after a food challenge, I usually eat I usually like do lots and lots of steps, so I have a lot like walk loads and do loads of like physical activity. So yeah, that's pretty much how I burn it all off. And I just don't eat until I'm hungry again, so that usually kind of helps balance it all out.
John. How's you feeling, guys? You's making this. Are you struggling?
Not happy.
Tell you what, to come back, you did a real airline to come back from that. And just to go over this, you can see how much Max has struggled there. You have the two finishes here.
The stottie was lovely actually. I come back just for the stottie, but the bacon was a struggle. The bacon was very difficult.
Dry, salty, chewy.
Just quite chewy, so it didn't go down easily. I think if it had been really crispy, it might have gone down easily, maybe, but yeah.